You know what it is.
All right, so it's 4:00 in the morning, and
One thing I love about doing these vlogs or just about documenting the things that I do without even knowing like how it's going to turn out is that I actually get to see myself doing things or saying things that I don't like in myself. It's sort of like a football player watching their own film, like seeing the things that they do right, seeing the things that they do wrong. And what I had been noticing is I had been putting a lot of focus on everything and everyone else except for me. How could I inspire and motivate people to chase after their dreams if I wasn't actively doing so? So a lot had to change. Not saying that I can't or shouldn't support other people, but what I had been noticing in those videos is that I had been using them, me supporting them, as a crutch so I could hide from doing what I was supposed to be doing. I'm not sure if anybody else have ever done that before, but that's what I was doing. So I wrote a song. A song about getting back to work, a song about being persistent, a song about being consistent. And it's called Grustle. It's just a matter of mixing hustle and grind together to form this thing that continuously keeps you inspired and energized to do your work. And upon writing the song, I was writing a hook, and I knew I needed some different vocals that's not my own to get on it. So I hit up Ann Colonna, aka Ann What, and She Modesty, and they happily obliged.
you want to hear it again?
Huh?
Want to hear it again?
Yeah, get it up a little bit more so I can feel it in my bones. You feel it in your bones? Oh.
Yeah. I'm on my hustle, I'm on my grind, and I get it in all the time. I get it in.
It's the same note.
Mm-hmm.
The very last thing that I am is a singer. This is why I needed them.
I get it in.
Now, the way that I like to work is when I'm collaborating with other people, I love to allow them to be as creative as possible. Because I don't like to have this constricted thing of, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I mean, that works for other people. It doesn't work for me because I love the collaboration of a lot of ideas and then coming up with the best one to fit everything.
Not me.
Crazy. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready with no headphones?
Keep them in there.
Okay. Let's make some music.
I'm on my hustle. I'm on my.
I'm going to be doing an episode of a show that I made called Microphone Memories, where I go back and explain like the origin of the entire song, so I won't get into it, but it's a pretty funny story.
More.
Yes, sir.
Get up in that microphone.
Yes.
Let's do this.
I'm on my hustle. I'm on my grind. I get it in all the time. I'm on my hustle.
We had to have done maybe 100 to 200 takes of this. And then what's funny part is we ended up just keeping the first couple of them.
You're going to do exactly what you just did, but you're going to be enormously hyped.
Okay.
And the last part, when you say put it together, it's almost like a like a screechy. Like the first you was like, put it together. This ain't like, put it together.
Alright.
Alright?
Alright.
Get hype.
Creating has to probably be one of the best feelings in the entire world. Like any artist, any creative, like when you're creating something, you have this idea of it in your head. And then when you see it actually come out and come to life, like the way that you saw it, the way that you heard it, oh, it's the best feeling ever.
1, 2. No. Gotcha. All right, cool. It's your prerogative. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm on my hustle.
Now, Ann here, I actually met her through her older sister, Angie, who was one of my youth leaders, and I had heard Ann sing in one of the Christmas videos we had did for our church. And when I heard her voice, I was like, oh, I need to get her on something.
You want to try it? Let us try it. Okay? Because that's what we do. We try. Oh, really? That's how you feel? That's how you feel?
I want you to keep having to get up.
All right.
All the time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Let me.
Huh, take that right there. And how much water do you drink a day?
I don't know, 77 gallons.
Okay, you're gonna die.
I get it in all the time. All the time. I put it work. Put it together. What it is. I'm on my hustle. I'm on my hustle. I'm on my grind. I'm on my grind. I get it in all the time. All the time. I put it work. I put it work. I go all in. I go all in. Put it together. Put it together. And what it is. Crushing, 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 high crushing, yeah, crushing, yeah.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it when a plan comes together the way that you hear it in your head.
Baby.
Look at that, acting it out. And spit.
All about the Benjamins, baby.
Let me say y'all.
Where you at? Where? All about the Benjamins, baby. There. In there. Ooh.
And now, y'all must go to rehearsal.
I know. I gotta be doing having so much fun.
You gotta go to rehearsal.
But I wanna do the rest of the song.
We shall finish it.
It
Actually,
ain't never been this happy in the studio in a minute.
we can finish it after your rehearsal.
Alright.
Ain't no substitution for hard work.
Huge shout out to one of my really, really good friends at I Am General Heat. Dropped his new single this morning called Grustle. Go check him out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, everywhere. Just go get it.
Now, this was a huge step for me getting back into doing my own music. So this could be considered as like the beginning of me trying this thing again.
Grustle, hey, 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 high grustle, yeah, 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 high grustle, hey, 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 high grustle, yeah, 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 high.
No substitution for hard work.
Salute me!
Dear Ace, now this is the time, the generation for the entrepreneur. Everybody is an entrepreneur or got a side hustle, doing that thing or whatever. But I must tell you this is important. Do not despise the 9 to 5. Do not do it. ever, because these 9 to 5s are what was able to get you into this entrepreneurship that you're in now. And I know there's this thing going around where people say, I just can't work for anybody. If you are a person who say you cannot work for anybody, how would you ever expect someone to work for you? So we have a lot of entrepreneurs with no employees, which will never get you from the entrepreneur to the business owner, to the investor. If you're a person who cannot work for somebody, you will always be in this thing alone. Now, granted, we all start out alone, but we are not to continue our business, our empires alone. So when you despise the 9 to 5, you disrespect every single person who would ever want to work for a vision that you've created. Work that 9 to 5 until you don't have to anymore. Do not despise the 9 to 5. It's what got us here. You're dope. You're amazing. But you gotta realize we've only traded one 9 to 5 for another.